modes of a set of 9 numbers are A, B, and C. Okay, and the average of the nine numbers is 20. Huh. Okay. 3 of the numbers are 2A plus 5, 2B, and 2C minus 3. What is the value of A plus B plus C? All right, let's start with this. I know that there's 9 numbers, right? So let me just write those out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Problems like this, you really want to truly work with the information the problem gives me. So one of the things that tells me is that the average of these 9 numbers is 20. And now from one of the previous videos, I'm not sure if you remember this, but whenever they give me averages in math problems in the SAT, more than likely they're asking you to figure out what the sum of these 9 numbers will be. And I can figure that out because if you look at the formula for average, the formula for average is sum divided by the number of things they are, right? Now, what's my average here? 20. And I know how many things there are. There are 9 things. So if I were to substitute them, so let's check it out over here. My average is 20. I don't know what the sum is, but I know that there's 9 numbers. So how can I solve for the sum? By multiplying this by 9 and multiplying this by 9. So the sum would equal 180. I just like to memorize it. If I'm given the average and if I'm given the number of things they are, I can just multiply the two. So I can just take the sum would equal average times the number of things they are. So I know that all of these numbers add up to 180. And again, just to recap how I know that, because the average is 20 of these 9 numbers, and there's 9 numbers. So in order to find the sum, I take the average, multiply by the number of things they are. So now I know that all of these numbers, when I add them, have to add up to 180. Let's see what other information it gives me. It tells me the mode of these set of 9 numbers is A and B. Oh, A, B, and C. So if there's 9 numbers, right? That would imply if A, B, and C are all the mode, that means they have to pop up at least twice. C and C. So A is there, B, A, B, B, C, C, okay. And then there's 3 numbers left over, and that makes sense because the problem also tells me that 3 of the numbers are 2A plus 5, 2B, and 2C minus 3. These are 3 numbers for sure. So if these are the 6 numbers left, and now I think it's starting to make a little more sense to me. So if these are the 6 numbers that are left, the mode is the number that pops up the most. So we know that these 3 numbers are filled by these little expressions they give us. Now out of these 6 numbers that are left over, all have to be AA, BB, CC because all of these are the mode, and that would imply they all have to pop up twice. Because let's say if the A just popped up once, that wouldn't make sense because that would make the B and C the only modes. But all of these have to be the mode, so they're all going to pop up twice. Now I know what all my 9 numbers are. A, B, B, C, C, 2A plus 5, 2B plus 2C minus 3. So now let's combine the like terms here. So I have 1A, 2A's, 2A's over here for a total of 4A's. 1B, 2B, and 2B's here for a total of 4B's. 2C's and 2C's over here for a total of 4C's. And as far as my constants go, I have 5 minus 3, which is 2. And we know all of that needs to add up to 180. The question's asking me what's A plus B plus C. So I think I got this, right? So now what I'm going to do is subtract 2 from here, subtract 2 from here. So we're left with 4A plus 4B plus 4C equals 178. Now I just want A plus B plus C by itself, so I'll divide this side by 4, and I'll divide this side by 4. And that's just going to leave me with A plus B plus C, which will equal 178 divided by 4, and 178 divided by 4. I know that 4 times 4 is 16, and then I'll have, let's just do it, I really don't have too much space left, but that's going to give me 44.5. I was going to show you long division and how to do it, but I think you guys can handle that at this point. If they don't give you a calculator on this problem, then you do have to do long division, but if there's a calculator, and for this problem, most likely there will be a calculator. You can just do 170 divided by 4, obviously, and that'll give you 44.5 to be your answer. Tricky problem at first. When I first read it, it really seemed as if I don't know where to go with it. So when that happens, I've worked with information that's given to me. So one of the pieces that they gave me was that the average is 20. And since there's 9 numbers, I was like, okay, so I know that the sum has to be 180. So I had that information down. And that's usually something to test you on. So understand if they're given the average, figure out what the sum is. Usually that'll help you. And the next thing was they told me what 3 of the numbers are. 3 of the 9 numbers were 2a plus 5, 2b, and 2c minus 3. So now I had 6 left. And if it told me that a, b, and c are the modes, that means that they all have to pop up at least twice. Just because if they all popped up once, that wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make them the mode. So they all had to pop up at least twice, and they filled up these other blanks. And then I combined my like terms, and that gave me 4a plus 4b plus 4c plus 2 equals 180. From there, I just slowly solved it algebraically to finally come up with what the a plus b plus c will be. And if you're confused at this part, how can I divide this by 4? Another way to look at it is by all I'm doing is factoring the 4 out there. So let me write this down up here if this part is confusing you. If not, you can quit out of this video and move on. So I have 4a plus 4b plus 4c. Since there's a common 4 all over the place, I can just pull that 4 out. So that would just leave me with 4 times a plus b plus c, and that would equal 178. And then you can see how I can divide that by 4. So if that was confusing you, that should clarify it a little bit more. So one last time, the answer here is 44.5.